Hello friends from Tony's Little Garden. Welcome to another video where today I'm going to share all my secrets about making cuttings. I've been propagating plants through cuttings for many years, and especially those of you who follow me regularly have seen that this past year I've uploaded lots of videos on how to make cuttings from all sorts of plants. Orange trees, rosemary, lavender, mornings, so many. And honestly, almost always with great success. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to reveal all my secrets so that you always have success when making cuttings. A cutting is just a way to reproduce plants from ones you already have using a branch, a leaf, or even a piece of plastic. There are many ways to propagate plants, like through division or seeds, but for me, one of the quickest and most effective methods is this one, taking cuttings. The great thing about taking a cutting is that in the end, we are passing the same genetic properties of the mother plant to the daughter plant. So as you can see, if we have a plant that's worth reproducing, it's very easy and straightforward to do. As I mentioned before, we have made a lot of cuttings on the channel, and I will leave a playlist here for you, so you can try it out. The second is with all these techniques, you can experiment with new plants. It's important to clarify that in the end, each plant is different, and we can't always use the same techniques for all plants. It's true that if they belong to the same family, it's usually the same method. But generally speaking, with these tricks and a bit of patience, you will always succeed. Choosing the best time for it. Although many plants do not care about the time of year, the ideal times for making cuttings are spring or autumn, when temperatures are milder, avoiding high or low extremes that could dry out the cutting. Honestly, I've tried it in winter and summer with varied results, but generally it's much better in spring or autumn. For fruit trees, however, it's best to wait until they are dormant and make the cuts in winter. Choose the best time for it. Although for many plants it doesn't matter what time of year you make the cutting, ideally it's done in spring or autumn, where the temperatures are milder. This way we avoid the risks of very low temperatures and also the risks of excessively high temperatures that can dehydrate the cutting. Honestly, in many cases I've tried doing it in winter and in summer, and for a long time. I have had success in quite a few cases, but generally it is much better in spring or winter. So it's true that, for example, for grafting fruit trees, it's better to wait until they are in dormancy. And we would make those branch cuts in winter. Let's move on to the second point, which is that another very important aspect is choosing the parent plant from which we want to make cuttings. We must focus on plants that are vigorous, especially those that are healthy and well developed. Along with this tip, the selection of the branch or stem that we are going to cut is also very important. The ideal and generally speaking, younger stems root better, but importantly, when doing this with trees and shrubs, we should avoid branches from the first year. And for plants, it would be quite similar, as we need to look for stems or branches. Well-formed branches that are neither too weak nor too young. And it's very important to always use sharp and disinfected tools or scissors. Disinfected for making cuts. Dirty tools can introduce diseases into the cuttings but also into the parent plant, so make clean and precise cuts to help avoid damage to the parent plants and cuttings. Clean and precise cuts does help prevent damage to the mother plants and the cuttings. Let's move on to the third point, which is that another critical aspect for the success of your cuttings is choosing the best medium for propagating them, whether it be in substrate, sand, sand or water. Although it is true that many years ago when I started making cuttings, I used to put them in substrates, very rich in nutrients, thinking it was the best way to reproduce them, to make them grow new roots over the years. After attending workshops and conducting many tests, I realized that the most important thing for a cutting to succeed is to challenge it a bit by making it harder for it to find nutrients and water. Which is why sand is so interesting in this case, because because in the end, it's a medium without nutrients, and the plant will strive to grow roots and survive. That said, it doesn't mean our plants won't take root in substrate. We can use substrates, but we must ensure that it's a substrate that drains very well, but above all retains a lot of moisture. That is why mixing it with perlite, vermiculite and sand would be ideal. If we want to do it with water, it will be another interesting and suitable option to propagate many cuttings, especially if they are easy to propagate plants. Although kaya paweske as mrabatas ta subuhat yung nakro, although as I mentioned, not all cuttings work with this method. To propagate cuttings in water, simply add water to a glass jar and monitor throughout the process to ensure the water does not evaporate and doesn't run out. Using sand, river sand, construction sand, or beach sand is an incredible method for propagating our cuttings. It really is the method and medium where cuttings generally reproduce best and fastest. I've absolutely proven this. I'll leave a video on the screen where I talk about all of this in depth. Using sand, whether it be river sand, construction sand, or beach sand, it is an incredible method for propagating our cuttings. Amazing for propagating our cuttings. It is truly the method and medium in which cuttings generally reproduce better and faster. And I have thoroughly proven it. I will leave a video on the screen where I talk about all this in depth. My advice in this case of substrates is that if you are trying to root new plants, use all three methods. It's very easy to do and takes up hardly any space. This way you will see which method works best for that type of plant. In later years, we can use only the method that worked best for propagating those plants. The fourth tip or trick is that a fundamental part of successful cutting is to properly prepare the branch we have chosen. We need to do several very important things. The first one is to make a slanted cut at the bottom, right below a node or a bud. We should leave just a few centimeters. The size of the cutting is also important, and generally we should take branches between 15 and 25 centimeters in length. If there is a young or tender shoot at the top, we should remove them. Another important fact for properly preparing the branch or stem you've chosen is that it should have several nodes or buds, at least 3, but ideally 5 or 6. O more so anor, so that you can bury at least 3 buds to increase the likelihood of them developing roots. And leave 2 buds on the surface. Pesquia on the surface from which new branches and leaves will sprout. And as a final tip for preparing the cutting, we should remove most of the leaves and branches. This way we will prevent transpiration. And an additional tip when preparing cuttings is that the more we make, the better our chances of success. So do not hold back. If you have the chance to make lots of little cuttings, many branches, that's even better. I usually put in about 6 to 8 or so. And if some fail, it's no big deal. At least I'll have some that do sprout. I'm telling you, that's how it is. Is that we can also use rooting agents. While many plants are easy to root without them, it's true that rooting agents, which are essentially root boosters, can help speed up the cutting process. That in the end are root enhancers, which will help us speed up the cutting process. The truth is there are many root enhancers that we can use, both commercial and homemade. Lately I've been using for a long time now, a homemade rooting agent made with aloe vera. I'll leave you a video here on the screen. Honestly, it has been working wonderfully for me. Essential for success. Without providing the best environment for our cutting, nothing mentioned earlier would make sense or lead to success. Undoubtedly, for a cutting to be successful, we must consider several factors. One of them is temperature. We can use reused plastic bottles, creating a mini greenhouse with them. That's what I use for cuttings. We can achieve this with reused plastic bottles, which will allow us to create a mini greenhouse. And those are the ones I use for cuttings. Another very important thing is that most cuttings should not be placed in direct sunlight. It's better to use indirect light or partial shade. And another key aspect for the successful development of cuttings is constant humidity. Both in the man's environment and in the substrate, the environment is crucial. Otherwise, our cutting might dehydrate before developing roots. So use water or soda bottles cut in half and reused. And by fitting the top and bottom together, I assure you we will have that mini greenhouse where our plant, our cutting will have everything it needs, a constant humidity and a constant temperature. However, we must be very careful that there is not an excess of ambient humidity. If we see a lot of condensation droplets, the best thing to do is to remove the bottle cap and let it breathe. As I mentioned before, on the skisi, keeping our cutting somewhat moist doesn't mean watering it constantly, just ensuring it's a bit damp and not dry. Excessive watering can lead to mold formation in our cuttings, but especially rot, so avoid overwatering. This might be the most challenging point to find a balance. It's better to tanta as the plan at this better to water too little than too much. If we see that the substrate is drying out, keep it moist. As I said, it's a difficult balance, but this way will prevent rotting and most importantly, avoid fungi. So that's it, my garden friends. Now you know all my secrets and all the tips I use for making cuttings. I hope this video is helpful and inspires you to propagate plants. Honestly, I'm thrilled about it, and I love making cuttings of everything I can. So anyway, my garden friends, I see you next Thursday on Tony's Little Garden channel. See you later.